Hey, good evening, guys. This is Christopher South, and I am your instructor for the West River EMS Academy. And this is our Winter 2020 orientation video. And I just want to kind of go over everything with you and give you an idea of what we're looking for as far as school is concerned, and just kind of give you an idea of everything that you're going to need to be successful in class this year. So first and foremost, I want to welcome you to the wonderful world of EMS. Like Buzz is telling Woody in our little picture here, you'll never again eat warm food or get out all the time, so don't bother making plans right after work. There's sometimes that does happen in EMS, but I want to tell you, EMS is one of the most wonderful careers, and I think it's very admirable, especially here in rural North and South Dakota, is that we don't have the people like we used to, and we need to recruit good people just like you to go out and to be able to touch lives in the communities that we live in. You're going to be serving your family, your friends, people that you've known over the years, and even total strangers. And it's so wonderful that you're taking the time to learn how to save a life. It's amazing. And I'm so happy that you want to become an EMT. And we want to help you to become successful. That's my job here at the EMS Academy at West River, is to make sure that you are successful. We want to make sure that you're successful in every part of your EMT or advanced EMT learning. I'm here to help you. So let's get right into our little orientation. So first off, let's meet the instruction staff. So I'm Christopher South. I'm a nationally registered paramedic and a certified occupational safety specialist, and I am the program director and the lead instructor. So I'll be the main instructor for both the EMT and the EMT Advanced programs this year. Sonia Martin is an EMT, and she's going to be an assistant instructor, and she's going to be assisting me with the EMT class, and also going to be very, very valuable with her labs as well. Manette is an advanced EMT. She's going to be our lab instructor. She's going to be helping us quite a bit with the labs. Both of these girls, Sonia and Manette, are fantastic. They are huge help with our squad, and they're going to be a huge help to you guys too. Also like to introduce you to our medical director. This is Dr. Catherine Hull, amazing physician. You're going to love her. She's super awesome. And one of the things is she has a special interest in OB/GYN stuff, and she's going to come in the night that we're learning about some of those emergencies, and our actual childbirth class is going to be instructed by Dr. Hull, and she's going to help us with our simulation and everything. So we got a really good staff that's going to be able to help you out and to help you become successful. Here is my contact information. It's found in your packet as well, but make sure that you have this information. Of course, my email is christopher.south@wrhs.com. You can give me a text or a phone call on my cell phone. It's 701-340-4925. Here it is, guys. If you let me know, we can work things out. If you don't, I'm not going to be able to help you. So let me know. Communicate well with me. So I need to know what's going on. I understand that life happens and there's things that go on, and I can be helpful in a lot of those situations, but you just got to let me know. Don't wait till you're behind. Don't wait till you're having a problem and wait till it affects your school. Let me know. Let me know how I can help you. I'm here to help you to become successful. So I want to try to help you as much as I can. So here, make sure that you do contact me as soon as you need anything. So believe it or not, our little corner of North Dakota in Hettinger, North Dakota, has been a history of innovation since 1968. And for the new guys in the EMT class, you're going to start learning a little bit about EMS history, and even for AMT folks, as EMS as a whole is fairly new. We're fairly the new kids in medicine. And before the white paper come out, which you're going to learn about that in a little bit, most ambulances were just like the one in the photo here. And essentially, the patient, they either went to the hospital or the morgue, but either way, they were still going to get paid for their transport. And there was very little trained staff that knew anything, and most of the folks that did have training had training from the military, and there was no standardization of anything. So believe it or not, our little ambulance in Hettinger, North Dakota was the first place in the state of North Dakota that had trained people on the ambulance. They started out learning just some basic first aid and stuff. This was before really the invention of the emergency medical technician, what came on later on. One of the guys that actually lives next door to me was one of the first certified ambulance drivers. Got his certification from the National Registry in 1973. Really interesting guy. And he actually drove one ambulance very similar to this. And so we've been in innovation in EMS and Hettinger. Even later on, we were the first service in North Dakota to have a full-time paramedic on the ambulance. And we're still innovating today. You're going to discover that our training and how we do things is unlike anything you've ever heard of, as we try to make our training as realistic as possible and get you ready to be a highly qualified, ready to respond EMT. So let's talk about paperwork. There is a little bit of paperwork that we have to get done besides your application to our EMT programs. And the first thing that you're going to find in your packet is a confidentiality agreement. So our confidentiality agreement is from West River Health Services, because you are going to be on our facility. You'll be doing some clinicals there. You'll be interacting with staff. You'll be on site, whether at the ambulance hall or up at the hospital itself. And we want you to sign a confidentiality agreement, which is very similar to HIPAA, which you're going to learn later on again, but it helps to protect anybody's private information. And that includes the things that you hear, the things that you may see. We need to keep those things confidential and not share them, because we want to protect the patients and the staff at that hospital. We want to protect their privacy. The next thing is we would like to be able to use your photographic image and material that we're going to use to put on the internet to help promote our hospital and also our EMS Academy, and just to have some fun to be able to share those pictures. If you don't want your picture shared, that's completely fine. Just make sure you check it, but I have to have that documentation on whatever your decision is. I do encourage you to have your picture taken, but if you don't, I completely understand. The next document that you're going to get is the state form. Now, this is from the state of North Dakota, and it is required for all students who are taking a class in North Dakota, which you guys will be. So please fill this out. Whatever information you do not know on there, please leave blank and I will fill it out. It's going to ask you why you're filling the form out, and you're either going to put down that you're an EMT or an AEMT student, and I'll fill out the rest of it. We'll follow the course ID and all that stuff. Make sure that I get from each student a government issued photo ID. I need that, and I'll also need a copy of any certificates you have, especially if you're an AEMT student. I'll need a copy of your National Registry card and either your North or South Dakota license for EMS license. Every student, whether you're an EMT student or an advanced EMT student, I do require that you have health insurance. This is so that you can be able to work around patients on your clinicals, your lab days, ambulance rides, and all of that. So make sure you get all that stuff too. If you have any questions, always let me know. We'll be able to help you out. So JB Learning. So the first thing you need to do is open up the back page of your book if you're an EMT student, or the front page of your book if you're an advanced EMT student. You'll see a little silver area there. I want you to scratch off the code to that. And while you're scratching it off, we're going to go to jblearning.com. So we're going to do that right now, as a matter of fact. So this is JB Learning. Once you get here to JB Learning, you're going to go to Redeem Code. And just like here, we're going to click on Redeem Code. Of course, you're going to agree to all that weirdness of terms and conditions that they have. You're going to put in your access code, and that is the silver code that you've scratched off. Now, once you scratch that off and get everything in there, it's going to be redeemed, and it's going to ask you a bunch of questions, and it's going to ask you for the course ID. The course ID. So let's take a look at the course ID. So I got to get into my account to give you the course ID. Let me scroll out of here a couple of pages back. There we go. All right. So when you log into your account, once you get it all set up, you'll log in and you will put your password in that you set up. So the course ID number, you're going to need this when you redeem your access code to get into our class. Make sure you're in the right class. So if you are an EMT student, EMTs, okay, only for EMTs, your course ID is right down here, which is CB79CE. Again, for EMT students, your course ID is CB79CE. For advanced students, your course ID number is Foxtrot Charlie 9 Alpha 903. Again, that's FC9A93. All right, so once you get lined up and everything, this is going to go for both students. You'll go in and you'll see your product there, and you're going to click on it. So we're going to go, this is going to be the advanced class, but the same, it's going to be the same for both courses, whether you're EMT or EMT advanced. And we're going to take a look at it as you would see it from the student's point of view. So this is how it would look, all right? So for all of your opening up, you see all the different chapters and everything. So we're going to click on the chapter. So the first chapter is our EMS systems, and you'll see it has everything that you need to be successful. It's got the ebook chapter, so if you want an electronic version of this, the book, it's right there. The next thing it has is the chapter quiz, all right? And the chapter quiz, guys, is required for every single chapter that we have. It's got all your slideshows and everything else. So we're going to come back and look at one of those tests here in just 1 second. I know you guys are pretty interested in that. So there's all kinds of good stuff here to help you to learn. There's the virtual ride-alongs, which are really awesome. We can open that up and click on this. And you'll notice the virtual ride-alongs, they've got just about all the different calls we're going to talk about. You can click on it and actually see the call develop from the point of dispatch all the way to the delivery of the patient to the facility. And there is instructors that are on there, professionals in EMS that are going to talk about the call and give you some great information. Love, love, love the virtual ride-alongs. It gives you an opportunity to see how EMS is done in some other places. One of the other things we have is our test prep. So as you're going along to get prepared for the National Registry, National Registry it can be a difficult test for some folks. And what you can do is you can come in here and take tests as many times as you want. This is going to help you to be able to become a better student. And I think you're going to do very, very well on the test prep. So let's go back. We're going to take a look at how before we go into the test, up here at the top, we got some different learning tools, which is your book. And your ebook, we also have an audio book. So you can actually listen to the book. You can download and listen to it as much as you want. You can check out any grades. Every time you got a quiz and stuff, you're going to be able to go in here and look at it and see what's going on. Let's go back to our lessons here. So we're back here in chapter 1. So let's take a look at our quiz. All right, so we can go to our ebook quiz. When the assignment page is open up, looks like I got a friend request. All right, so this is how it's going to open up. The final assessment will test your comprehension of the material presented. You must answer all of the questions. So what we can do is just hit begin the assessment. All right, and it's just going to ask you, there's usually between 10 to 20 questions for each one of these assessments that we have. And that's basically JV learning in the nuts, basically in a nutshell on what we can do in JV learning. All right, so when we get out of JV learning, oh, we got an assessment and test. Oh my goodness, all kind of tabs open up here. All right, so Zoom. I love this little thing, that moment when your EMT turns into a flight medic. Zoom is an online video conferencing that we utilize for all of our students who are going to be joining us remotely. You can view us live via Zoom. So a few hours before class starts, you will get an email, with the email that you provided to me, and you will get a invitation to go to the meeting. So if you're not able to come to class that night, or you're one of our remote students, this is how you're going to log in to be live in class with us. It may ask you to create an account. You will need a camera and a microphone on your device. So whatever device you decide to use, I would say find something a little bit bigger than a cell phone. And so once you are on Zoom, a couple of things when we're talking about video conferencing is to make sure that whatever's going on in the background, be mindful of that. If you got kids screaming and all that, you got to quiet them down because everybody else in the room is going to hear. If you have to talk to one of your family members or whatever's going on, mute your microphone or stop it for just a second. And be mindful. I did have a class a couple of years ago that was online, and I had a student and her husband actually walked through the background completely naked. I did not see it, but everybody else in the class did, and they thought it was hilarious. I'm sorry I missed it, but so please be mindful of what's going on in the background. So I'm going to show you how to log into Zoom. So what you'll do is you'll go to www.zoom.com and you'll click join a meeting. And you'll just put your meeting ID or personal link name in there, hit join, and it'll pop up, and you'll have a little face thing that'll pop up just like mine. Really easy to use, not a problem. So Zoom is how we do all of that fun stuff. All right, so the next thing we have to talk about is Dropbox. I make every lecture that we do is always recorded and always going to be available to the student. So these videos are quite large. If I'm lecturing for a couple of hours, it's going to be a huge video, and it's kind of hard to put that on different platforms like email and stuff. So Dropbox helps me to be able to put a lot of information into to storage that all of you guys can grab. I want to show you how to get an account into Dropbox, but you will get an invitation to Dropbox from me a couple of days before school actually starts, and that'll give you the information you need to get into the account. Besides the video lectures that'll be available on there, it'll also have the audio lectures. So if you just want to listen to that in your car, on your whatever device you want to listen to it on, that'll be there available as well. And there's going to be all kinds of extra material that's in there that's free for you to use. There's different PowerPoints on all kinds of different subjects. There's videos, there's pictures, anything you can think of. All the stuff I've collected over the years will be available to you, the student, and just peruse it as much as you want to. All right, so we're cooking with gas now. So let me come over here and go to slideshow. All right, so we've figured out how to create an account. You go to www.dropbox.com. They're going to try to sell you a bunch of stuff. Just keep scrolling past that. But if you don't want to go to dropbox.com and go through your creating account, just wait until I send the link to you. Be able to help you out. So we're going to do a little overview of some of the rules and policies that we do have in place. And all of these can be found in your syllabus for each program, whether it's Advanced EMT or EMT. So this is just kind of an overview of how we want to do things. So one of the things is we're never going to say one thing and do the other. We're always going to stick to our policy procedures. I love the little picture here. Teaches patient about dangers of alcohol, heads to the bar after the clinical. We do what we say. So the first thing is our academic policy. You do have to maintain a passing score of greater than 75% um, to stay in the program. One of the things that we absolutely do not put up with is cheating. It's not allowed. We just don't put up with it. And the reason is you're not going to get a chance to cheat in the back of that truck, in that patient's house, on the scene somewhere. You have got to know this material, because if you don't know this material, you're not going to be able to help somebody. And so cheating is not going to help you. All right, this is not a course just for you to get a nice little plaque to go on your wall. This course is designed to give you the knowledge to be able to help when somebody needs your help. And so we're really strict about that. And believe it or not, it's going to be really difficult for you to cheat anyway. Um, I can log in. I can see when you're taking those tests and everything. And we do have our big tests that we are taking. I want you to know that you have to log in and be live with us or be live in class. So speaking of tests, here is what is required of you as far as tests are concerned. Every chapter has a quiz that's associated with it. I think there's 42 different chapters, so there's 42 different quizzes. And we have 4 major exams. That's it, other than your quizzes. The 4 major exams are, we have a midterm, a final, a medical exam, which goes over all the medical stuff that we're going to learn, and a trauma exam, which is going to go over all the trauma material. And all of those help together. Anytime you take an exam, it's always going to be online. Through the JB Learning is where I place all the exams at. When you do take an exam, you get instant scoring of those exams. So the next thing we need to talk about is professionalism. I love EMS, and it's a profession I'm very proud of. And I like to look professional because I think you need to look the part when you come to a patient's house. You should have a nice uniform on. It should be clean. And you should sound professional, look professional, be professional, because there's always somebody looking up to you. And so this goes even into our training. As just believe it or not, we are going to have an incredible fun time. We are going to cut up. We're going to laugh. We're going to learn together. We're going to make some mistakes together, and we're going to learn, and we're going to come out on the other side of this, and it's going to be wonderful. However, when we're having all this fun and everything, we still have to be professional. And what I'm talking about is that we do the right thing. We take care of our patients. We're advocates for our patients. We talk professional in front of our patients. We make sure that we're doing the right things and trying to look the part of an EMT. So when we're in uniform, we want to make sure that we're representing not only the West River EMS Academy, but West River Ambulance, and as well as West River Health Services. We want to make sure that you're looking professional and you're acting professional. I do not put up with any kind of harassment, whether it's physical, sexual, emotional harassment, any kind of hazing or anything like that. We don't put up with it. We want you guys all to work well together, because when you get out in the field, you're going to have to work with others. So if we do have a problem with professionalism, the first thing I'll do is I'll come to you and let you know what behavior is not professional. If you continue to do that unprofessional behavior, you will be removed from the course. And that's just the way it needs to be. I'll tell you that it's probably not the right thing to do, and you keep doing it. That means you don't have much respect for the program or for me. But I think you guys are not going to have any problem with that. So academic probation. If your grades fall to a failing level, I will come to you and let you know that you are on academic probation. You will get 3 notices for this. You will get a notice in your snail mail. You will get a notice via email, and you'll get an actual notice, whether a phone call or an in-person conference with myself. And what that means is you're falling behind. We're going to try to put you on a program to get you caught back up. Our goal is to help you to be successful, and we're going to tell you some different things that you can do, some things that you need to change to get you to become successful. If you fail to do those things and not become successful, then unfortunately you may be removed from the program from failing, from academic, um, whether it's misconduct or it's from probation where you're falling behind and you failed out of the program. We're going to do everything we can to keep that from happening. So the next thing is our uniform policy. This is going to be found in your syllabus. The required uniform is our class t-shirt. You can wear an undershirt under or a jacket if it's cold. Black pants, you must have pockets in those pants. If you got, cargo pants or anything, it's fine because you are going to have to put things in your pocket. If you do have the black scrub pants and they look pretty decent, those are okay as well. And black shoes. I like boots because they're sturdy. You never know when you're going to be tromping out in the mud and stuff. But if you got black Timmy shoes and they look pretty good, that's fine too. The required uniform does require you to have a pen light, stethoscope, bandage scissors, a regular pen, and also a notebook to take notes with. So for our attendance policy is if you have 3 unexcused absences, you're removed from the program. It doesn't mean if you miss class 3 times, I'm going to pull you out. If you will talk to me, I understand life happens. I understand calls happen because you're taking care of your community. You get off work late. It's toward the holidays. I understand some of that stuff, but you need to call me and talk to me. Let me know what's going on so I can write it down on my calendar and understand what's happening, and we can work together. And I'll tell you how to catch up on your homework and all that. If you don't call me and I don't know, it's going to be an unexcused absence. All right, let me take a sip so I can talk about homework. By the way, we are not sponsored by Coca-Cola. It's just what I'm drinking today. So homework. Now she says ain't nobody got time for that, but I'm telling you, you better make time for that because homework is going to help you to be successful. It is going to help you to learn, and it's how you're going to, be evaluated. So the first thing is what we talked about earlier is there are quizzes for every single chapter, and you have to do those quizzes. The next thing are objectives. For every chapter in your book, right there at the front, you'll see some objectives, and it can be just a few questions, or it can be a lot of questions, just depending on how big the chapter is. You were going to keep a notebook, and for every chapter, you were going to write the objective and the answers to those objectives. This is required. You must complete those, and you have to turn that in before you can take the final exam. And I check those periodically to make sure you're keeping up with them and doing those. Do those objectives. If you want to pass National Registry, you will do those objectives and learn them, because they're going to ask. You're going to ask when you get closer to registry, what should I study? And I want to tell you to study the objectives, because that's how you're going to learn. So do your objectives. You will be happy you did. The next thing is in your packet. I've made a little coloring book for you, and it's anatomy and physiology coloring book. You are required to complete that and have it turned in before you can take your final exam. So make sure you color all of it, even the silly picture in the back. There's something special I'm going to do with those. So it's going to help you to learn. One of the other things for both levels, whether you're EMT or advanced EMT, you have to tell me how to trace a drop of blood through the heart, starting at either the superior or inferior vena cava and running all the way through the heart and exiting out the other side. And to do that, there's a sheet that's found inside of your packet, and it's going to give you the explanation of how to perform that. One of the other things that may be required for you, depending on what your level is, are drug cards. You're going to have to fill out the drug cards and keep them and know the trade name, the generic name, the dosage, indications, and contraindications for this medication. It's going to be very helpful for you, especially going on the registry, and as well as some of your skills that you're going to have to do. All right. So our labs. Now this is what separates us from any other school that's out there, is our labs are scenario-based training. So what we do show you the traditional lab way, bring equipment out and show you all the steps to put the equipment on. But instead of you just sitting in a classroom, we're actually going to bring you into the field and let you experience what an actual call is like. So a couple of cool things that we have our own training facility. We have a little place that looks like a house where you can go in and get patients out of the bed and out of the floor, and you can experience all different types of calls, from a granny call with chest pain all the way to a drug overdose in a drug den. You never know what you're going to get. And one of the other things that's really awesome is we have our very own car wreck simulator, and this thing is awesome. It is just completely amazing with our special effects, what we've got. And also, your patients that you're going to get are live patients. They are moulaged up, and they look, sound, and feel like the real thing. You're going to have an amazing time, and you're going to learn scenario-based stuff. It's as real life as you can possibly get. So for our labs, you are required to be on site for those labs. There is no lab work. It's done remotely. It all has to be done in Hettinger, North Dakota at our facility. We have to see it. We have to be there. We have to watch you put hands on this stuff and make sure that you understand. So there are no online labs. All labs are in Hettinger, North Dakota. So clinicals, you do have some clinicals that you're required to do, which is 2 of them for both levels. You have to get so many patient contacts. Our clinical scheduling is done in December, and all ambulance rotations have to be done in January, and those are done at Metro Ambulance Service in Bismarck, North Dakota, Bismarck. You do have to be in good academic standing with the program. Means if you are on academic probation, you cannot go on clinicals until your grades are up. And the reason is because I want to focus on getting your grades up, and then we can get you out in the field when you're a little bit more confident and a little bit better prepared. So our 2 clinical sites are at, of course, the ambulance in Bismarck, North Dakota. And all of our clinicals in-house are done at West River Health Services. They're in Hettinger. You get a variety of clinical learning. Those are done Monday through Friday. We do not have students on the weekends at West River Health Services. And you can come and you'll be exposed to patients both in the clinic downstairs, also patients on med surg, which is upstairs in the ER as well. And if you're there and we get an ambulance run, you can pop off with us as well. All right, so if you need any more information, have any questions, I know this is kind of a quick overview about some of those things, refer to that syllabus. That syllabus is going to tell you so much about what you need to know as far as class goes. I've also got the information sheet, which has all the numbers, how to log in, and everything that's going on. If you have any questions, of course, you can pick up the phone and call me, or you can text. Let me know what's going on. So this is the end of our little program today. I hope that you have enjoyed. All right, let's see if it'll click there. All right, we hope that you have enjoyed our little presentation today, and I am super excited to have you as a part of my class and as hopefully a member of EMS as an EMT or an advanced EMT, to get out there to serve your community, to do the things that you need to do. We are so excited to have you a part of the long-standing EMS tradition here at Hettinger, North Dakota. But the EMS tradition has been started for a long time, and you guys are going to be a part of that history. So I'm looking forward to having you in class or seeing you on the video. And if you need anything, by all means, always give me a call.